welcome back to the channel. So today we are working on the other C1, and what we're doing is we are repairing damage, or attempting to repair the damage done by malicious vandals. Anyone who follows me Instagram might have seen that a couple of weeks ago. Went to Knowsley Safari Park, and there was some well, what happens when you go to a safari park? Shit like this. This is the main thing. The washer jets, well, they got eaten. And the other thing that I'm going to do as well is that shit got nicked. So I'm going to have to replace that as well. So I've got new bits for them, one of the finest quality as ever. So let's see. Well, let's see what we've got. And the first thing to check is the washer jets. Make sure that they look something like right before we start taking it apart to fit them. And I'm pretty confident that they'll be the right ones and the highest quality, because these were actually £3.99 off eBay. They look wrong on the packet, and as you can see, they're a sign of quality. And but feeling them through the packet, they look like they might, sorry, they feel like they might be the right shape. So I'm hopeful. Let's open the shitter up. Potentially right. Yes. And there we have a new washer jet. I mean, it's a bit cross-eyed looking at that, but it looks like it might fit. I mean, as I said, all of the finest of quality. And look at the finish around the edges there. Look at it's been deburred lovingly by a specific engineer of washer jets in the land of Shanghai, I think it said. Right, so let's see what it actually does as it is now, because the washer jets still work. I mean, if I do this, yes, they just don't spray anywhere near the windscreen, but above about 29 mile an hour, let's say 29 miles an hour, they do start to work. So they're not unusable, they're just pretty wanky. So anyway, let's go and have a look at changing the shitters. So now, as you can see, we're back round the front of the vehicle, staring at the missing washer jet, which half of it is still there. Now, it seems that to remove this, it might be a case of that I have to remove the scuttle panel, which would mean taking the wiper arm off. Not really the end of the world, just a bit of fucking about. But it also seems that there's another method to doing this. Now, if you the original washer jets seem to be in two parts, because it's the top bit that's clipped off that's missing, and it seems that the way to remove them is to use your teeth, because that's how they were removed on this vehicle. And then once they're removed, I might be able to actually get something in there, if I'm filming anything at all, get like a screwdriver in there, which doesn't look like it should be too hard to pull it out. What's more likely to happen is I'm more likely, struggling with one hand, I'm more likely to push it inside, and then I will have to take the scuttle panel off. But it seems that as long as I'm being lovingly careful, I might be able to get that out without, you know, a screwdriver on each side. I reckon I can pull that out, or even if I just twist the shitter actually. Yes. So now that has become apparent that that didn't go to plan, I'm going to take it off. Now, I probably could actually fish that out. If I got some long nose pliers and fucked about, I mean, I've fished worse things out of worse holes in my time of fucking about with vehicles. But I'm not going to bother, I'm just going to take it off. So, first thing I need to do is I need to remove this wiper arm. Now, it's always good to make sure you know where the wiper arm is before you take it off. So you don't want to be putting it back in the wrong place, because, well, it won't work right. So first I need to take that cap off, then remove that nut, which I think is a 12. It is a 12. A not very tight 12. And then to remove the wiper, I have the use of one of these. Now, these aren't expensive, they're like less than a tenner. It's just some shit Chinese thing. But if you don't have one of them, then if you grab the wiper arm and you've got to give it, I'm not going to do it because I've got that, so I don't want to risk fucking that up, but I've done a lot of them this way, where you just grab it and then give it a sharp jolt. Now, it does feel like the wiper mechanism on these isn't that secure, and you could bend it. So if you do have one of these, use one of them. If you don't have one of them, just break it. So I'm going to put this on here, which means positioning the tool so that it is, so that bit there is screwed out enough so them are low enough to go under there, and then when you've done that, you tighten this bit up on top and it pushes it in like magic. Watch, hold on, don't know if you can see anything what's going on, but this is mind-blowing. Try not to scratch all the bonnet. Need to undo that a bit more because it's gone too high. Yes, now it's fallen off. Make sure it's underneath the bottom of the wiper so you've got something to tug against. So it's sat something like that, sort of self-explanatory I would say, and then just tighten it up and now it's popped off. That's it, it's off. So I can take that shitter off, and I don't need that again now, as this should just lift off there. Oh, maybe I do need that again. Yes. I need to pull this up at this end and bend it so that it keeps it straight, which I can't really do with one hand, but I'm going to try anyway. See, the problem is that the wiper is pushing against the windscreen, which is tensioning this and cocking it over to one side. So really, I need to keep that straight and then it'll just lift off. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it worked. And then there's a ball back there to take off as well, a little ball joint, which should just pop off. Fucking hell, that's tight. There we go. And that is one wiper arm removed. So now to get to the next phase of removal process, we need to open the bonnet. And there isn't really much else. We've got some pegs here, I think. Let's get some tools. You know what, I don't even think I need tools. Right, I've got a plastic rivet here which we can reach the bottom of, so we can just pull the bottom out of it. We've got the same on the other side, you can see the bottom of it, so I can just pull the, yes, that didn't go as planned. To get a new one of them. And now they have been removed, it should, I believe, just be a case of all the way along it there's little clips like this which hook it into place, which need to be sort of prized out gently, nice and gently removed to lift the scuttle up. I think that's all that's holding it now, so I'm going to try flicking them out and seeing where it leaves me. I'll just try and demonstrate the process on the only one that I can really see with the camera. It sort of pushes away from you like that and then pushes up slightly. You can see what it's doing, but because I haven't done the one at the end first, it's just pushing itself back in. So I'll do the one under there, which I can't really see, I don't think, with that. Yes. Great success. And then, obviously that one's just falling back in. And the same for all, I don't know, I think there's about 6 of them. For all of them. Fucking hell. Yes. And then, I think that might actually be removable. Ooh, look at all the shit under there. Probably should disconnect this pipe as well, but we'll see. We'll see if we need to. Let's just sort of pull it out. I mean, it does separate in the middle. It does come apart in the middle as well, if you so wish, but I just bent mine out. So now I can get to the washer jets nice and easily to replace them. So now, as we can see, the washer jet is fully removed from the orifice, so this new washer jet can just be pushed into it to take its place as it sits nice and happily pointing towards the windscreen. Now the next part of this is, apart from something that I'm going to show in a minute, where I've actually fucked up. I need to take that pipe off there, which just pulls off, and connect it to the replacement washer jet. And I've done the same for the other side, self-explanatory, but I don't know if anyone's spotted where I fucked up. What I should have done is, when I was taking the scuttle out, is I should have removed the bonnet stay instead of bending the scuttle around the bonnet stay, and as a result I've actually cracked this part. What a fucking noob. Now fortunately I do have a tool to rectify this, So that's what I'm going to have to do. And I haven't filmed the process of that, but I've professionally repaired with a professional tool, as you can see, and now it is as strong as it ever was. So to avoid breaking that yourself if you are undertaking this task, I would recommend that either when you get it all undone on these clips, you can lift it up slightly, get your finger in, and you can separate that there, but it's a bit stiff because it's a bit old, and you know, that's what happens to plastic. Or just take the bonnet stay out and you should have enough room to only bend it a little bit. And putting it back in, I'm going to put it back in 2 halves. So this goes on first because, yes, hold on, yes. So that goes on first because it's the underneath side. And then balance that there whilst I retrieve this part that's running away and put that on next. And then get it into its location where it needs to be applied, which is a bit more fiddly than I thought it was going to be. And now I can join it back together as demonstrated, as you heard it click there, didn't you? Get that pipe hidden down there where it come from. I mean, while you're doing this, you could clean all the windscreen off and everything like that, but I can't be bothered. I haven't really got time to do that. And then make sure everything's back in line, put all the clips back in, which should line up to where they come out from in an ideal world. I do apologise if I'm just filming nothing because I've got the sun in my eyes. I try to do it with one hand and I'm not really looking at what I'm filming. But that's what we're used to on this channel. There we go. Right, so that seems to be in. Connect this back up. Now, I'm not going to try it now because the wiper arm isn't on. And if I did and it stopped in the wrong place and then I put the wiper arm on, that could cause us an amount of issues, which could potentially be unsolvable for the rest of the time. It just needed to be fixed with a new vehicle. And so that is now connected onto there. And the scuttle panel, apart from our plastic rivets, which I've got new ones, like I said I would do. I mean, I was just going to change one, but I couldn't find a matching one, so I'm going to choose 2 new ones, so they're both the same on each side, for a professional looking job. Right, so now put the wiper arm back on. Firstly, put it back in somewhere near the general direction of where it came from, and then put this ball joint back on, which should just push on. Might need to attack it at some sort of angle to get it to go on a little bit easier. Fucking hell. Right, maybe it doesn't go on. There we go. That was more difficult than I anticipated. Right, so put the wiper arm back where it was, which we've got a nice marking, which we marked nice and professionally here, of where the wiper arm stopped. And then push it back on, making sure it is in the place where you want it to be, which that seems like it is. And then when, and only when, you are happy that is in the correct location, then you can put your nut back on. That'll do. Torqued up to spec, and the cap. And now, when I close the bonnet and test it, I'm pretty sure the washers won't be anywhere near the windscreen. So now it's a momentous occasion to see if this has actually worked. 1, I want to see where the washers are spraying, and 2, where the wiper goes to. So, hey, they're like no spray pattern at all. They're really shit, aren't they? Yes. I mean, that's just going to run the tank out in like 3 squirts. But fuck it, that'll actually do. It works quite well. So now, the next thing that we need to sort out from the vandals at Knowsley Safari Park is that shitter, for which I have a brand new, it's supposed to be OEM, looks like it might actually be OEM, and it should be quite simple because it's already got sticky double-sided tape on it. So all I need to do is clean this off on the door and then stick it where the other one once was. Now before I clean that off, I could do with making a mark, because at the back I can line it up to that one. At the front, I need to make a mark of where to line it up to, so I can see the height is right, because I don't want it to end up, you know, once I can't see the fucking, where the old one was, ends up something like that, which would be pretty sick. Now a lot of people just take these off, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to replace it and put a new one on, and well, I'm going to do it that way. So if I take a measurement, now this is something you won't see on this channel very often, an actual tape measure, but if I make a measurement from the top of the door where the mirror is to where that is, we can see that it is, as near as makes no difference, a foot.
12 inches in a foot. How many inches in a foot?
Which, now I've made myself aware of that, I can get on with removing the residues from the paintwork. Now this is using a toffee wheel, which is what we used when I did the spoil on the BMW, but no one will know that because no one actually watched the video. So this, now you can see where I'm trying to go with that. Because the wheel's a bit fucked, it spins around on the shaft, which means it's not as effective as it once was. So it means that this is going to take longer than it probably should. I'm going to have to go over the whole thing and get this old sticky back shit off, and then clean it off. And the toffee wheel has left us in this situation. So most of the sticky shit is off. But now, and I'm probably using the complete incorrect thing, but I'm just using a bit of brake parts cleaner to clean the residue of the toffee wheel off the paintwork. Now, if you was taking these trims off, you would have to polish this to get everything off properly. I mean, I'm just doing a quick job because I'm sticking the new, let's just say it cleans up with this brake cleaner, which has left it like that. Which, if you was getting rid of these strips, which I said I'm not going to for, well, because I think they look all right, but also I think they help with sound deadening actually. But if you was going to get rid of them, you would need to get a load of T-cut or something and a buffer on this. But this should be good enough to stick this on. Obviously the right way around. So I'm going to take this out of the packet and carefully remove this. Now I'm going to do this holding it both hands, so I don't want to scratch it all against the floor. So I need to pull this off. Now it's just a case of sticking it where the old one was. And because it's left like marks where the old one was, I didn't really need to measure it. And now, as you can see, it's brand new again. So that's pretty much it for this one. We've fixed the damage caused by the monkeys at Knowsley Safari Park, and it's cost about 30 quid. So washers now aim at the screen. I mean, we can't see anything anyway because the dash isn't flocked on this one like the other one, and I forget how much difference that actually makes until I drive this one, because the reflection is just horrendous. Anyway, that's it for this one. Like I said, don't forget to check out my other videos. There's loads of them, all just as shit as this one. Comment, like, subscribe, all the usual bollocks, and I will see you next time.